Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Henry Kazo. I'm highly humbled and humbled to be here to give the keynote speech for this awesome event. The title of my presentation is titled Mindsets, the Key to Unlocking Potentials. I will appreciate your apt attention because this topic is personal to me because this is what I do. I help people to unleash their potentials. And the way to do that is you must have a growth mindset. But quite unfortunately, a lot of people have what I call a fixed mindset. And when you have a fixed mindset, you can't really do much. You must have a growth. It's all about the mindset. I strongly believe, given every opportunity, everybody is a potential achiever because we don't have dull brains, only brains undeveloped. So if you develop your mindset and your brain, there are great opportunities for you to unleash your potentials. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your status. It doesn't matter your environment or your background or your financial handicap, whatever is your condition. If you have the right mindset, that is the first way to unleash your potentials. You may be wondering, what is mindset? We talk about mindset. What is mindset? Mindset, in a nutshell, is all about beliefs and thoughts. Excuse me, it's not sure. So mindset is all about beliefs and thoughts. So the mindset that you have will determine how far you will go in life. So if I may ask you, what is the mindset that you have? If you are a student, if you're a professional, if you're a trader, if you're a parent, what is the mindset that you have? Mindset can be regarded as a way of thinking. So what are the thoughts that comes to you? According to a great philosopher, he said, what your thoughts, they become your ways. What your ways, they become your habits. What your habits, they become your actions. What your actions, they become your character. And what your character, they become your destiny. What does that entail to you? That literally means it starts from your thoughts, your thought process. What you allow inside your mindset is what you developed. Even the book of life made us understand that it is not what entered the heart of a man that kills a man, but what proceeds out of the mouth of a man. That tells you that your thoughts are the main things. But unfortunately, a lot of us have what I call limiting mindset, limiting beliefs. That is an attitude that we need to change today. So I strongly believe if you give me your attention today, before the end of this 45 minutes presentation, your mindset will change from negative to positive. And I strongly believe you will never remain the same. So in a nutshell, mindset can be regarded as how you think, how you feel, and how you behave in any given situation. And I'm going to share this because I like giving stories. We all are here today, but we all don't hear the same thing. We all might be driving, but we all don't see the same thing. We all might experience pain, but we all don't feel the same thing. We all might be looking at a picture or an image, but we don't have the same vision and understanding. Again, mindsets. That is why you will see when people are in schools, either in high schools, secondary schools, or university, or even as a professional, as a parent, we all have different understanding in life. It's all about mindsets. I'm looking at the topic we have today. I saw one of the topic titled "Is Education a Scam?" In our contemporary society, some of the youths have believed that there's no need for education. Their mindset is all about when they graduate from schools, there is no job. And then how can you survive? But they fail to understand that education is the greatest leveler. I speak from a personal experience because my late parents never went to school. They only went to primary schools, and that's it. But today they have trained a lawyer. They have trained an author. They have trained a life coach. So I have that mindset that my background cannot limit me. My financial incapacity or my financial limitations cannot limit me. It's all about the mindset. I was privileged and humbled to attend a private school here in Nigeria, Madonna University. I remember when I was in college, I was a little afraid of my colleagues because guess what? These are children of high-profile people in society, governors, ministers, commissioners, just name it. But guess what? I never allowed those factors to weigh me down. Today, those contemporaries see me and they respect me in the US. Because guess what? Education is a leveler. It all begins from the mind. During the course of this, I will be talking about mindset and attitude and how you can use your attitude to unleash your potentials. Let me give you a brief talk on attitude. Attitude, in a nutshell, I can be defined as your behavior in every given situation. According to a philosopher, he said, it is your attitude and not your aptitude that will determine your altitude in life. Let me repeat that for parents who are here. It is your attitude and not your aptitude that will determine your altitude. Let me elaborate a little bit. Your attitude this time around is how you behave, your character, how people see you as a child. Do you greet your parents? As a student, what is your skill when it comes to personal relationship with people, with your colleagues, with your professor? As a professional, how do you relate with your colleagues at work? As a parent, how do you treat your children? These are all attitudes. As a driver, as a teacher, these are all attitudes. But my focus today is on the youths. Each and every one of you must have the right attitude to life. So it is your attitude and not your aptitude. In this case, aptitude is all about the test that is given to you. You might be a brilliant student, but trust me, if you don't have the right attitude, nobody might hire you in a job because your attitude determines everything in life. I read a book when I was in college in Nigeria. Attitude is everything. So it is your attitude and not the test that's given to you that will determine how far you will go in life. But let me discuss about attitude as it relates to mindsets. We're talking about emotional components. How do you feel if someone should hurt you? How do you react? That is emotional attitude. Do you have the right emotions to life? As a young man, as a young woman, how do you relate with people? When we talk about cognitive components, we're talking about your thoughts and your belief. It is what you believe that will come to you. When I began, I spoke about what Henry Ford said. He said, if you think you can, you are right. And if you think you can't, you are right. Either way, you are right. So what are the thoughts that comes to your mind? I want to share with you a story that I had when I wrote my book. For those of you who have known me and who have read my book, I was speaking about meditation in my book. And I gave a case study of a woman that was sick. His son came to give her prescription. And she said to her son, my son, if you give me this prescription, I will not be all right. I need you to inject me. The son said, Mommy, I'm a medical doctor for 10 years. I know what is wrong with you. She said, no, you must inject me like you inject other people. You didn't know what this young man did? This young man tried 3 times to give the mother the pill. But instead the mother takes the pill was not working. So he took the syringe and had to inject water into it. And he had to inject that needle into the mom. And guess what? In 48 hours, the mom started getting better. What does that tell you? The mom has already believed that when the son injects him with that injection, she will be all right. That is why she said, inject me. But the son did not get it. But the moment the son was able to inject that injection with water, she felt good. I'm going to share with you again another tale story. Again, I love to tell stories. There was a young lady that was having problem with her mother-in-law. And she went to meet a herbalist and told the herbalist, I want to kill my mother-in-law. She is a pain in my body. She's not giving me peace. I'm not comfortable being with her in the same house. And the herbalist smiled and said, my daughter, I understand you. It's not a problem. I'm going to give you what you will use to eliminate your mother-in-law. But on one condition. She said, what is it? I'll be willingly to do whatever you tell me to do, provided this woman is taken away from my sight. She said, I will give you a leaf. And that leaf, you have to give it to her. But the only way that leaf will work is that you will show her love. By the time you show her love, she will now believe that you are giving her something of value. Because when you show her hatred, she might not literally believe you. So the woman now said, no problem, I will show her love. Do you know what this lady did? She went there. In 6 months, she was showing this woman love, showing her love, and giving her that leaf, She did not know that that leaf the herbalist gave to her was a leaf that will make the woman grow better. And guess what? In 6 months' time, she came back to the herbalist and told the herbalist, please, I don't want to kill my mother-in-law again. She has now loved me. She has now embraced me. The herbalist now laughed and said, my daughter, I understand that it is the mind. That the leaf I gave to you was literally for that leaf to heal her, to make her feel better. That leaf was not poisonous as you think. What does that tell you? It's all about the belief and the thoughts. So because she has given her that leaf, she believed that that leaf will kill her, but not knowing that it is the mind she used to smile to the woman. That was what endeared the woman to her. And today, they are still living peacefully. That is why cognitive component is very, very important in mindset and attitude. She was able to combine both the attitudes and the belief. And guess what? It changed the thermostat for her. So let's talk about behavioral components. It's all about the attitude that influences your behavior. So as human beings, in whatever we do in life, our behavior is what determines how far we'll be going in life. I began by giving a quote by Lotazio which says, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your actions. And watch your actions, they become your character. And your character now metamorphoses into your destiny. I wrote a book titled Design Your Destiny. For those of you who have read this book in US and globally, the book has been a very good book and a lesson to me. I was privileged and humbled to be in New York Times and to be in the 12 in New York, courtesy of this great book. So, your attitude is what determines how far you will go in life. So let's discuss about the types of mindsets that can help us to grow in life. This type of mindset is what I want each and every one of you to focus your attention. Because guess what? If that is what you can gain today, trust me, you will never remain the same again. Why do I say this? I say this because as a parent, most of you have fixed mindsets. As a professional, you don't know that change is the only thing that is constant in life. Because time changes yesterday. We live in a global world where the world is fast changing. I call it the jet age, no longer the analog age. We now live in a computerized age whereby people can watch me right now on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and even right now we are on Zoom. People are watching me globally, right here from Nigeria. So it's the mindset that you have that will determine how this will work for you. So if you have a fixed or what I call a static mindset, you might not be able to go far in life. Again, if you have what I call a poverty mindset, you might not be able to go far in life. But if you have what I call the growth mindset or the winning mindset, that is where you ought to be, and that is where I'm heading. So if you can learn these three things today, trust me, in any field of life in which you are operating for, your story will never remain the same again. So what is a fixed mindset? The fixed mindset is all about the intelligence or the talent, or simply what I call the fixed traits, what someone thinks or sees or feels. Because I love to share stories, I'm going to be so practical for each and every one of you to understand me. If as a student you are in school, your dad is telling you, don't do anything, you have to obey your dad or your mom or your teacher. Don't do it. Because if you are doing it, it will not help you in life. Fixed mindset will not help you to grow. It will never help you to grow. Fixed mindset will limit you. It will not allow you to think out of the box. You are limited. In your thought process, you can't do much. But when you have decided that, you know what, I want to grow, then you can now do much with your life. So I want each and every one of you to grow beyond the fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So for example, if you are approaching any challenge in life, somebody might tell you you cannot do it. Once you believe you can't do it, that is what's going to happen. I strongly believe as a Christian, I'm a student of the Bible. The Bible says in 1 John 4:4, he that is in you is greater and stronger than he that is in the world. So for example, if the whole world is telling you you can do it, and you know you can't do it, you will fail. But if the whole world is telling you you cannot do it, and you know you can do it, you will succeed, because he that is in you is greater and stronger than he that is in the world. But if you have a fixed mindset and someone says you are a failure, tell your teacher, I am not a failure. Because guess what? We have seen students like Ben Kenson who was told he can't do it. We have seen great men in the world who were told they can't do it. Even Oprah Winfrey was told she is not going to scream. But today, who is she? She's one of the most weirdest women and one of the most successful women in the world. That is fixed mindset. So if anybody is telling you you can't do it, say I can do it, because it is not by your power. Fixed mindset will limit you. If someone tells you that you don't have a talent, tell the person I have a talent. If you should fail, you don't have to look at what made you to fail. What you have to look at is the things that made you to fail. But if you have a fixed mindset, you always believe that you are the cause of your problem. So I don't want you guys to have a fixed mindset. I want you to have a growth or winning mindset. But before I discuss about the growth and winning mindset, I want to talk more about the poverty mindset. Because the fixed mindset will take you to the next level. If you have a fixed mindset, you will always allow criticism to affect you. So for example, if someone is trying to correct you, in your mind you will believe that it is your fault. That it's not somebody else's fault, it is your own fault. Because people with fixed mindset always believe that they are the cause of their own problem. So if someone is trying to correct you, you will be angry that it is your fault. But maybe that is not your fault. It could be environment. It could be some factor that is limiting you. If you have a fixed mindset, you will not be critical of feedback. Why do I say this? Because for me, I am a progressive human being. I always appreciate feedback. I remembered when I was a student union governor in Nigeria, I was in Madonna University. Each year, I always call my friends, please evaluate me. Because guess what? The school authority wants me to be on their side, while the students want me to be on their side. So I'm always in the middle. Who should I support? So what do I do? What I did was every year I would call my friends, please critique me, criticize me, tell me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. So because I am not fixated with my mindset, I allow stuff to come to me. That is why I don't feel disappointed when somebody tries to correct me. But if you have a fixed mindset and someone is trying to correct you that you have done something wrong as a student, what will happen is you will feel that you have disappointed your friends. Because guess what? They will tell you they have high expectations, but you have shown them that you can't do much. Let's talk about the poverty mindset. The poverty mindset operates from the lack mentality, from insufficiency mentality. People with poverty mindset always believe that they have the inability to transform. Right now in Nigeria, a lot of people just believe that I have no money. Because I have no money, I can't do anything. They fail to understand that poverty is a mindset. I will repeat that. Poverty is a mindset. Let me tell you, students who are here, who are hearing me today. When we talk about getting wealth, wealth is all about ideas. It's not about physical cash. If the only thing you have in the world is money, you are poor. Because that money will evaporate. That money will finish. But the man with ideas is the man that will transform the world. To the young ladies that are hearing me today, by the time you want to get married to a future husband or whoever you want to get married to, do not look at the man that has money. If you see the man that has ideas, follow the young man. Because guess what? If a man that has vision is talking to you, and you're looking at the man who has money, at the end of the day, the man who has money without vision will be watching the man who has no money on television, who has vision. So your idea should be looking at the man who has money, who has vision, because vision is everything. Why am I saying this? If you look at the man who has only money, you have what I call poverty mindset. But the man who has vision is the man I call the man with a growth mindset. So as a young student, as a professional, as a parent, in whatever style you are operating from, I want you to have the growth mindset. Quit having that poverty mentality. It's all about ideas. On my way to Enugu yesterday, I was speaking to my chief operating officer. I showed him a tweet by Reverend Sam Adeyemi. Reverend Sam Adeyemi is one of the most renowned pastors we have in Nigeria. He said that when he was driving, he discovered that he has an empty tank. Guess what? He had to quickly put on his GPS to find where he can get a gas or fuel to refill his tank. After that, do you know what he told himself? That this is a need factor, that the man who sells the fuel does not have to advertise that he's selling fuel. All he has to do is to have a fuel station, and somebody will come and locate him. What does that tell you? It's all about vision. So if you have a business as an entrepreneur, your gain factor or your changing factor should be getting ideas that can serve the world. And the only way you can do that is to have what I call the growth mindset. So if you have a poverty mindset, you will always complain. You will always have what I call entitlement mentality. Even when you have, you will think you are lacking. You will feel frustrated even when you have abundance. And that is why I strongly believe that poverty is a thing of the mind. Why do I say so? A rich man will always be considered poor because guess what? He has a lack mentality. Why a man who is sufficient will be regarded as a wealthy man. Why? Because he or she practice what I call gratitude. So if you see somebody who has money, but is always complaining, that person is poor. But if you see somebody who has little, but appreciates it, that person is rich because he or she appreciates it. So a rich man will be considered poor when he or she does not appreciate what he has. Why a poor man will be considered rich? Because he or she appreciates what he has. That's what I call the spirit of gratitude. So if you are hit with a setback and you have poverty mentality, what will come to you will be like, oh, I would have done this way. But because I don't have what it takes to unleash my potentials, I am now being limited. Because you always want to give excuses. Progressive minds don't give excuses. They take responsibility for what happens. So if you want to grow in life as a student, if you should fail, don't think you are a failure. What you have to do is go back to your drawing board and ask yourself, what did I do wrong? You don't have to apportion blame. You have to fix the problem. Right? So as a progressive human being, you don't have to allow that poverty mentality to govern you. You have to have what I call a winning mentality. And that takes me to the main topic of today, the growth and winning mentality. And what is a growth and winning mentality? This is where proactive minds exhibit what they have in them. For those of you who have read my books globally, I have a chapter in my book titled Unleash Your Potentials. If you have a growth or winning mentality, you will be proactive. And what does that mean to be proactive? You will be able to think out of the box. Let me give you a typical story of how to think proactively. When most of you are looking for jobs, let me tell you, jobs will not come to you. You have to be creative. If you get into this society or any environment, you ask for what is lacking. How can I solve a problem? That is how to grow in life. But if you are waiting for someone to give you a job, you will only be limited in life. You have to unleash your potentials. And how do you unleash your potentials? You unleash your potentials by solving problems. So you have to be open. You have to be flexible. You have to take risk. You have to embrace new styles and new dynamic way of doing things. When you fail, you have to go back to your drawing board. You have to explore ideas. You have to change, because change is the only thing that is constant in life. You don't have to remain static in life. You have to grow. You have to think out of the box. You have to ask your friends, what can I do to make life better for yourself? You don't have to remain static. The world has grown. Before now, we don't have Instagram. We don't have Facebook. We don't have TikTok. We don't have YouTube. But right now, the world has gone global. That is why you have to embrace the new change which I call technology. And the only way you can do it is by embracing what I call the growth mindset. As a student, you must have good friends. You will learn the good thing from them. You do not learn the bad thing. When I was in secondary school and university, my mom will always tell me, my late mom, has to rest in perfect peace. She will always tell me, learn the good and the bad from people, but take only the good part, because human beings have both the good and the bad. So if you have a friend, learn only the good quality. Do not learn the bad quality. Take the good part of someone, because everybody has the good part and the bad part. So the only way you can grow in life is to have what I call that growth mindset. Because that growth mindset will give you opportunities for you to learn. So that growth mindset will help you to overcome your challenges. Your dad and mom will tell you, I have no money, John, Nkechi, Amaka, John, Peter, whatever your name might be, I have no money. You have to say that no problem. It will be better. You pray for your parents. Pray to God to bless your parents, that it will be well. That is what I need from you guys to tell your parents every day, Daddy, it will be well. Daddy, I will pass my exam. Daddy, I will be a good boy. Daddy, I will be a good student. You make your daddy proud. You make your mommy proud. You make your founder, Professor Okechukwu, proud, because she has been able to invest so much in you. The only way you can do that is by practicing a growth mindset. So you have to have that winning mindset for you to succeed in life. And how does that growth mindset literally work? In a nutshell, it's so simple. If you have experienced challenges in your life, in your family, in your personal life, in your professional life, whatever anyone has told you, you have to accept it and tell that person thank you. So for example, if someone should tell you you are a failure, you cannot succeed, your father is poor, what you will say is thank you, God bless you. Finish. If anybody tells you you are a failure, you say, God, thank you, God bless you, I will not fail. My daddy is not a failure. My mommy is not a failure. I am not a failure. I will succeed. If you should fail your exam, do not cry. Go back to your drawing board and ask my teacher, what did I do wrong? How can I improve? Go back and ask your daddy, do you know this? If your daddy don't know it, the daddy has a friend that will teach you. You will ask your brothers, you will ask your sisters, what is my mistake? Teach me maths, teach me English, teach me social sciences, teach me vocational studies. You have to learn. But if you should fail and you now go back and start crying, you will not do anything good for yourself. Your founder will not be happy with you. So what am I trying to say? That as you are in school, you have to work hard because your founder started from here. Today she's in America. Because she is a success, that is why she's coming back to you to give you that knowledge. Before this program began today, I heard her speaking about the young students that were here. They started from here today, they're now in UNL. I want each and every one of you today to tell me that I will be a doctor, I will be a lawyer, I will be a nurse, I will be a pilot, I will be a teacher, I will be an accountant, I will be a captain, I will be a governor, I will be a minister, I will be a president. You can do it. Can you say it? Say, I can do it. I can do it. Yes, you can do it because it is in you. Nobody should tell you you cannot do it. And the only way you can do it is by telling yourself that I am not a failure. I am intelligent. I am beautiful. I am smart. Don't tell yourself I am a failure. I do not care your limitation. I do not care if your father has no money. I do not care your background or your environment. Believe in yourself. Have confidence. Study your book. Listen to your parents. Listen to your teachers. And tell yourself, I will be great. Every day you wake up from sleep, tell yourself, I am smart. I am beautiful. I am handsome. I will be a good guy. I will be a good boy. I will never disappoint my founder. I will never disappoint my teacher. I will never disappoint my founder. I will never disappoint Henry Ukazu speaking today. Remember that one day, a young man sitting right here spoke to you and told you, you will be great. If only you can do that, I'll be happy. To me, that is success. So what am I saying? If you experience challenges in your life, whatever you have experienced, any setback, do not allow it to limit you. Believe that you too can succeed. So I'm going to share with you the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And I believe you students will really understand, and the teachers and the parents and the students that are here today will understand in a contextual manner what I'm talking about. So someone with a fixed mindset can say, I cannot do it. But someone with a growth or winning mindset will say, I can do it. And remember, when I began, I was speaking about what the Bible said in 1 John 4:4, which says, he that is in you is greater and stronger than he that's in the world. If you can remember, I said that if the whole world is telling you you cannot do it, and you know you can do it, you will succeed. But if the whole world is telling you that you cannot do it, and you know you can do it, you will succeed. But if it's telling you you can do it, and you know you cannot do it, you will fail. So I'm going to tell you again, if you should fail as a fixed mindset, and you now limit yourself, that is a fixed mindset for you. But if you should fail and say, I want to learn, that is growth mindset. So what am I trying to say? Someone with a fixed mindset is not willing to grow. But someone with a growth mindset is willing to grow. So how do you know when the fixed mindset and the growth mindset is working? You have to listen to what is happening in your voice, in your brain. It is your brain that will determine everything. What voice are you listening to? Is it the voice telling you you cannot do it, or the voice telling you you can do it? Remember, you all have a choice to make in life. In every single thing you are doing, you have a choice. You might decide today, I'm not coming here. It's a choice. You might decide, I'm coming here. It's a choice. It starts from the mind. So if you are if you are told you cannot do it, say, no, I can do it. All right? So you must have that growth mindset. So how can you allow that mindset to work? You must take that challenge. You must learn from setbacks, and you must move. And you must appreciate criticism. So if someone has told you you cannot do it, or this is why you failed, you have to go back and learn from them. And how does that play out? As a parent, I'm going to tell you today, or as a teacher, you do not have to praise the children in every now and then. It's good to praise them, but you have to know when to praise them. But a good way to praise your children is by telling them, look at your ability. Look at how you perform. So for example, instead of you to praise your children, you will tell them, see how much you have learned, see how much you have developed. You will describe the effort that they have invested, and you support them with gifts. Let me share with you guys a practical example. I have a niece that's right now in Uniport. I told her last semester, every time you have an A, I will give you 10,000. Guess what? Last semester, just like 3 weeks ago, she called me from the US, from Nigeria, and said, Uncle, I got a 5.0 as a pharmacy student. I told her, forget the 5.0 as a pharmacy student. I'm going to give you 50,000 naira. That's what I told her. And even my chief operating officer, who is here right here today, he's also in school. Each time he makes that same grade, I support him. So I want you guys to know that if you should fail, you do not have to feel that that is the end of the world. Okay? So do not praise your children, okay, by talking about their ability. Instead, you will describe the efforts that they have invested in their knowledge, and then you support them with gifts and tell them this is the way to go. You appreciate them. Okay? So now let's talk about, I'm going to be ending right in the next 2 minutes. Okay? Let me talk about how your mindset can help you to unleash your potentials. How your mindset can give you great opportunities in the world. Do not think because you are in Nigeria, you can come to the US. You can come to the US. I did not have it all together. Where I lived in Nigeria when I was going to college, whenever there's a downpour of rain, the water will get to my knee. So do not think, oh, this man here is from the US. No, I was born and brought up here in Nigeria before I went to the US. But I understood where I was coming from. I was able to listen to my father and to my mother, and today, by God's grace, I have done well globally. So, if you have mindset, the good mindset, you will have what I call potentials. And what is potential? Potential is simply the latent qualities or abilities that can be developed within you. Each and every one of you here have potentials. What's your potentials? It could be your talents, your skill, your gifts, or something that's in you. It could be that you can sing, you could dance, you could drive, you could be anything. It is those things that makes you happy. That is what is your potentials. And how can you unlock your potentials? The first way to unlock your potentials as a human being is to discover yourself. So I'm going to be asking you guys a question, because in the next 2 minutes I'll be rounding up. Who are you? That is the question I want you guys to literally take home today. If you are going back to your sleep tonight, and if you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, who am I? Who are you? Not what people are calling you, but what you call yourself. Because what people think about you is their perception. What people think about you is their image. But who you are is your character. What people think about you, like I said, is a perception, is a reputation. People see me on Instagram, on Facebook, and they have an imaginary belief of who Mr. Okaso is. That is my reputation. But who I am, that is who I am. Today, I'm here today talking to you guys as a fellow brother and as a fellow sister. So ask yourself, who am I? And that is where I want you guys to ask yourself, what are my talents? What makes you unique? What makes you unique? Most of you know about Einstein. Albert Einstein said, if a fish is judged by its ability to climb a tree, it will forever believe it is stupid. Why? Because we are all different. We are all wired. You can sing, you could dance, you could write, you could talk, you could do anything which I cannot do. That makes you unique. So what makes you unique? Once you know what makes you unique by discovering who you are, then you will now have goals. This is what I want to be. A pilot, a dancer, a teacher. You will now have goals. Once you now have that goals, you will now have the big picture in your mind that you do not want to be limited by your environment. That, oh, I saw my dad poor. I saw my mom poor. We never have food to eat. Like President Goodluck said, Jonathan, I have no shoes. I don't know if that is your case. I have no shoes. I have no buckets. I have no money. Tell yourself, in the big picture, I will have shoes. I will have everything I have. You must have that goal. And how can you have that goal? You have what I call plan. In my business, I have a plan structure. How does that work out? You have to plan carefully. When you plan carefully, then you will not launch yourself globally. When you now launch yourself globally, you will not be able to adjust to your problems and challenges. Then you will not be able to network globally. It is very, very critical you plan, because failing to prepare is preparing to fail. If you do not plan to read, you are planning to fail your exam. And when you fail your exam, you can never be part of me. I will never give you my book. I will never give you any money because you're a failure. Nobody wants to be associated with a failure. Nobody. If you are a failure, you can be my friend. But if you fail and you want to learn, I will be your best friend. So you have to appreciate them. Then you will not have to practice your time. Do not spend your time too much on the internet. You go on Instagram, you start watching people who are twerking. It is not good. If you twerk, I won't give you data. People talk about, there's a slang I always see on Instagram. They say, how they say, if you want to know your wife material, they say, you get nash, you get breast because I'm a cook. That is rubbish. You should be talking about person who gets sense, somebody who gets sense. Somebody that has value, not you get nash, you get breast because I'm a cook. That is rubbish. People who are twerking, I will not give my money if you're doing that. All right? So you have to use your time very well. And you read your books very, very well. Have a good attitude. Okay? Once you have a good attitude, if you should fail, you can succeed, because you can turn your failures into your friend. When you turn your failures into your friend, you will not be able to unleash your potentials. Every great man has failed, and it's because of the failure that they were able to unleash their potentials. And how can you unleash your potentials? When you fail, you go back to your drawing board and meditate. What made me to fail in life? Did I play too much? Did I have a friend that made me to make a mistake? You meditate, you reflect. I said, now I want to do much better. I came second, I want to come first. I came 10th, I want to come 5th. I came last, I want to improve. You have to reflect. You have to practice what I call gratitude and appreciation, because you have to love yourself. You don't have to be hard on yourself, no matter your mistakes in life. Okay? You have to stay focused, because you have a vision, you have a goal. You have to embrace what I call simplicity. What does that mean? Be yourself. Do not copy somebody else. In life, there is no competition, but overtaking is allowed. So if you have come last today, don't think that it's over. No, you can still unleash your potentials. All right? So the last thing I'm going to share with you guys is you have to recharge. And how do you recharge? It's a continuous learning process. Life is a journey. Life is a marathon. All right? So you have to learn on how you can literally unleash your potentials. So my very good friends who have been able to hear me today, for those of you who are here with me in Nigeria and globally, if you want to know more about what I do, I have my website out there. I teach people on self-discovery. I mentor people. I coach people on entrepreneurship. I train people on mindset training. I have my details on my website. Or you could ask the founder if you want to engage me in any part of the world, and I'll be glad to share with you. So if you have any question, please feel free. I have a couple of minutes to share with you guys, and I'll be glad to share with you. So I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you, and I look forward to engaging each and every one of you in the next future. Thank you.
We have all had Henry Okazu. We have all had Henry Okazu. That was what moved me when I saw him at the United Nations. And I said he must come here and talk to us, because everything is about a mindset. And he has told you the growth mindset is very, very important. Dr. Vera, let's see her. I want to see Vera's the banner. Second. Sorry, guys. You know we are in technological age. Sometimes some of us are Jurassic. Some of us are from Jurassic age. So I'm trying. Where is that thing I see on that? Is it here? How would I see it now? Okay. Open the banner for me so I can announce the topic. Okay, so Dr. Vera Nwafo is going to be our next speaker, and her own is the human mind, the fountain of all possibilities. She taught at Queen's School. She came here, she did her IT training. After that, she took it and ran. After that, she went into her master's, PhD, worked at the Ministry of Education, and then she's now in San Diego. Vera, are you there? If you're there, unmute and talk to us. If you're logged on. Dr. Vera Nwafo. If you're not there, then... Okay, I can hear you. Make it a little bit louder. And then let's give her the power to share the screen. No, not... Give us a second. My technician is doing
Power on. Bluetooth mode.
Give us a second.
Paired.
Are you okay now? And unmute her. That is. Stop my sharing.
Bluetooth mode.
Stop my own sharing.
Paired.
Stop sharing. Okay. So when you stop sharing, then we give her power to share. I cannot do it from here. Okay, I can.
She can do it.
Did you give everybody power to share? Okay. I think you can share the screen now, Vera. She has given you...
Yes, unfortunately, Prof, can you hear me?
We can hear you and we can see you.
Okay. Unfortunately, I won't be able to share my screen because of some technicalities.
Okay.
My laptop is having some issues.
Okay,
so I'm using my Amazon Kindle.
Okay,
I
talk to
won't
us.
be able to show my slide. I am happy to be part of this year's symposium. Professor Christian Okechukwu is my mentor, a woman I look up to. And just like children, when they say, when I grow up. So when I grow up, I want to be like Professor Okechukwu. I welcome all of you once again to this year's symposium titled Changing Mindset, Changing Lives. This session, I'm going to get us to understand the human mind, the way it works, and its inherent potential as a fountain of all possibilities. I will also use this opportunity to help us identify ways we can change and transform our mindset and our general perception of the world with a view to becoming more human, more productive, more sensitive to the needs and yearnings of others, and most importantly, how to make our society a more civilized and just place. You all will agree with me that the theme of this symposium is up and imperative because it captures the rhythm of the moment. A lot of us have lost faith in ourselves, in our families, in our school systems, in our churches, in our government, and the human society at large. We have lost our humanity and the whole essence of our existence. Our society has lost its charms and harmony. There is chaos, apathy, alienation, indifference, resentment, depression, anger, disdain, and utmost contempt for the sanctity of life. Humans who are made in the image and likeness of God have been debased far worse than animals. Even animals have become more inviolable, while humans are disparaged, and profaned with reckless abandon and impunity. The family, unfortunately, that the fundamental institution charged with the responsibilities of imparting into the young generation the needed cultural and personal identity, beliefs, norms, and positive social values have failed completely. Our youth, who are supposed leaders of tomorrow, have lost the sense of direction and purpose. They have lost the zeal and patriotism required to make good leaders. Our politicians, who should provide the needed enabling environment, the succor, and good governance needed for a sustainable development, they are all busy looting the treasury and hoarding our common resources for themselves and their 10th generation to the lack and penury of the populace. There are both social maladies prevalent in our society today are signs of a degenerated and decadent society, a dysfunctional system, begging and yearning for repair. If these narratives don't change and our society continue in this direction, our common destination is nowhere else but anarchy and doom. Therefore, the time has come for us to change the narrative. The time has come for us to take a new and different direction so as to get to a better destination. The time has come for a paradigm shift from the way we think and do things. The time has come for a total restructuring of our minds. Our minds are trapped and mortgaged by mundane values, maladaptive belief systems, and egocentric tendencies that have affected every facet of our human endeavor. Take, for instance, the civil servant, the one who steals the public funds. The average policeman on the street has his hands on the cookie jars. What about the teachers, who are supposed to be the molders of characters and builders of knowledge? What do they do? They are busy aiding and abetting students in examination malpractices. What about our parents? Our parents, who are supposed to know better, they are also interested in paying huge sum of money in order to enable our students to go to special centers to make unmerited grades. The students are also not only aware of their potentials, inherent potentials, they have also lost confidence in their own personal abilities. What about the university system? The university, a supposed citadel of learning, has become a camp where sex is traded for grades instead of a campus of academic excellence and character development. What about our health sector? The doctors have become demigods, pronouncing untimely death on their fellow humans because of money. They prefer money above human life. Our youth no longer believe in hard work, resilience, and integrity. The Malaysian, Indonesian, Odogu, and get-rich-quick syndrome has taken over the minds of our young youth. How can I forget the social media madness, where we have thrown to the winds our natural instincts of love, care, and empathy, and have replaced them with madness of share, post, let it go viral. Who did this to us? It's so disheartening. How did we get to this point? Things have really fallen apart. Things have completely degenerated. We need to free ourselves from this mental madness and reconstruct our minds so we can be more human, productive, selfless, and sensitive to the needs and yearnings of others. Now, I would want to ask, all these social maladies that I've enumerated above, do they resonate with us? Can I have an answer? All all these maladies that I've enumerated above, do they resonate with us? I'm asking the girls, the students, people that are there in the forum. Do they resonate with us? Obviously, your guess is as good as mine. Having x-rayed some of these social maladies prevalent in our society today, the question is, what is the solution? What are we going to do to get things right? The answer is change. Obviously not the kind of change that our politicians have promised us. It is the positive change that will emanate from within each and every one of us. In the course of preparing this topic, I asked my 20-year-old son why he thinks change happens. And he said, change happens when people realize it is time to stretch the body and the mind to accommodate a new idea, belief system, and a different view of the world for the purpose of making progress. He added, it means rearranging and seeing things differently. Although he admits that change can be difficult, but it is a constant and survivalistic that has a mind of its own, as long as those willing to give in to it will have a mind different from status quo. Thus, for change to happen, individuals must see the need for as well as desire a change. And this change must come from nowhere else but our mind. One may ask, why do we need to change our mind instead of our actions or attitudes? The answer is simple, and it's captured in my topic that says, human mind, the fountain of all possibilities. Everything, almost everything under the earth takes place first at the realm of the mind. The mind is the invisible storehouse of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our belief systems, and the general perception of the circumstances and situations around us. We have two dimensions, our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. Our conscious mind is that aspect that is fed through our sensory perception. It gives meaning to what we smell, to what we see, to what we hear, to what we taste, and to what we feel. It interprets situations as pleasant or unpleasant, right or wrong, acceptable or unacceptable, while the subconscious mind simply takes record and stores all the information generated by the conscious mind. In other words, for every feeling, for every thought, for every belief that manifests into our reality, the first of all exists in the mind. Now, have you ever wondered how this beautiful world came to be? Of course, whatever you see in existence has already been somewhere, and that is in God's mind. And because it is in God's mind, all he needed to do was to bring it into manifestation. So the human mind, just like we are all created in the image of God, we have the same type of mind that is capable of creating our desired reality. I'll give you a personal experience. As a young girl growing up, I came from a very impoverished family. Impoverished as the word, as you may describe it. But as a little girl, I had a mindset. I had a mind that despite the situation, despite the circumstances around me, despite my family background, I must live above this background. I must live above the circumstances. My mind became a creative zone. My mind became the builder of my reality. My mind became the position where all the things that I desire manifest. The human mind, as a thing, has unlimited possibilities. Unlimited, in the sense that there is nothing ever in the past, in the present, or even in the future that does not exist in the realm of the mind. And we are empowered as humans to bring them to manifestation, to bring them to reality, to bring them to the physical based on how and what we feel within us. As a matter of fact, if as a human we believe that the situation we find ourselves, especially what is happening with us in Nigeria, all the social decadence, all the things that is happening around us, they are all issues of our mind. The things we see, the things we believe, the things we practice, all these are a product of our minds. And because our mind is capable of creating, because our mind is capable of turning things around, the possibility of change is there. Just like the first Peter made mention that the mind, there is a lot of potential in the mind. And that potential can only be harnessed when we have a change of mindset. He talked about the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. When you consider what is happening around us in Nigeria, you come to realize that a lot of us are stuck with that fixed mindset. We already have a way of doing things. We already know that, oh, these students, for you to pass, the normal thing, the status quo is you have to cheat. You have to have commit examination malpractice before you make good grades. That is it. That mindset is already set. And what do? We really have to create a different scenario. We have to tell ourselves, we have to believe in our ability. We have to say, no, I cannot carry out this examination practice because I believe in myself. You believe in yourself when you have powerful self-efficacy belief. You believe you can do this thing. You believe you can achieve any goal. You believe that everything that happens around you is a product of your choice. Come to think about it. Everything that we do, all our activities, our engagement, in everything is a matter of choice. It's a matter of decision. I think the time has come for us to choose between doing the right thing, the right way, and achieving the right result. Because it is only a mad person that does the same thing the same way and expects a different result. A time has come for us to realize that the human mind is the fountain of every possibility, because everything you need to be, whatever you need to be, is already in you. Every human being is equipped in different ways, in unique ways. That is why we are different. Because all of us are equipped in different ways, we have all it takes to be who we want to be. And that is measured by the level of what goes in our minds. Of course, our mind will establish beliefs and attitudes as an internal report of false beliefs. A change in mindset will lead us to a change in our actions. You believe in yourself. You believe that I can do this. You believe that no matter what happens, no matter all the distractions, the challenges that may come my way, I'm going to be a better person. That was what I do. I made that choice. I took that decision. And I said, no matter how dark the night is, it must break into day. No matter the penury that I'm surrounded with, I will live above it. My parents, none of them were educated. None. My father illiterate, my mother illiterate. But today, I have a PhD. My family, very, very poor. But today, I am in the United States of America. It's a matter of your mindset. How you are able to live above your challenges. How you are able to live above your circumstances. How you are able to tell yourself, this is my reality. Speak your reality, and it will come to pass. Change your mindset, and everything around you will change. Change your mindset, and everything around you will change. Before I end my session, I would like to leave you with a quote of George Bernard Shaw. And he says, progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything. I thank you for listening, and God bless you.
You mute me. Thank you, Dr. Vera Mwafo. You are still Vera. I can still remember you. 2008, you were here. And look at you today. So we're all happy. Like you said, it's all in the mind. If you're a teacher and you're not doing your work, it's all in the mind. If you're a student, you're not listening to the teachers, it's all in your mind. You have to first of all conquer the mind in order to do what? Grow, like Henry said. You need to grow. Okay, so we have somebody very interesting who wants to tell us if going to school is a scam. Because it looks like that's what a lot of you are telling yourselves. Why am I going to school? After school, I don't get a job. So he will come and tell you if it's a scam. And that is Ugwaba, right? Mr. Kevin Ugwaba. He's coming on screen to talk to us.
So I welcome everybody once more to this year's symposium. So, like she said, my name is Kevin Chinedu Ugwaba from Ozalezi Mono. And today I'm going to share a very unique topic to all of us here and even abroad. So this particular topic, when Prof sent me the message, you can choose a topic, I said, which of the topics should I go for? Because there are so many things that the youths need to know about. But I chose this particular topic because this is what is in the mind of many youths, especially in our country, Nigeria. And the topic is school really a scam? Of course, I've been hearing this particular phrase almost all the time. And I asked myself, is school really a scam? And just like the other speaker said, it is all in your mind. But for me, I will tell you that school is not a scam. So I'm going to share some points why some people think that school is a scam. No, in Nigeria, my country, presently, you see that many people that are excelling are even school dropouts. It's quite confusing. but it is true. So many people that are excelling are school dropouts. They don't even have degrees and some other certificates, but they are still excelling. So when the youth looks at those people, they will be like, school na scam. And I want to tell you that school is not a scam, that it is all in our mind. And I want us to change that mindset, that school is a scam. It is not a scam. Now, another thing that is making some people think that school is a scam is because if you come to our education system, in 1982, when renowned educationist Babs Fafuma, Professor Babs Fafuma, in 1982 introduced a 6-3-3 formation in our school system. That particular time, we have technical schools, we have special science schools, and before you finish your secondary school, you already have something in mind that you are going to do. And once you are coming out from secondary school, or when you enter the senior secondary school, you are going into that particular technical school to study that particular thing you want to. But recently, those things has been a kind of eliminated from our school system. And it's giving us a very big headache. So if the education system should be reviewed, I think school is not a scam. The only problem we have is our education system. And to develop a very good mindset, you have to be in a school, because that is where the teachers will mold your characters, because teachers are molders of characters. So, and the teacher cannot come into your father's house and start molding your character. It is when you come out, they start helping you to change that mindset that you have. You can't tell me that you'll be in the streets and the teachers will start coming to the street to look for you and change your mindset about education. It is when you come inside the school. But the problem we have is that the youths are already saying that school is a scam. And they are looking for the shortest way of making money. And that's why you find out that most youths in our country today engage in Yahoo. Of course, I was going through the WhatsApp status of my faculty president, and he was telling us that he lost one of his brother. Why? Because they were saying that the boy said he's going into Yahoo business, that Yahoo is not ritual. And he was sending in his WhatsApp status that Yahoo is ritual, because it is before the death of that young youth, he confessed that one of his sister got missing about 2 years ago. And that was his first victim, the person he used to do that Yahoo business. You know, it is not easy to, because we are living in a global world. You cannot just be pressing your phone and you scam somebody. You must go diabolic. And to go diabolic, of course, they will ask you for something. And when they ask you for something, if you can't do it, that's why if you go to the street, you see young youths, they are mad. Because some of them will say, I cannot bring my mother, I cannot bring my sister, or I cannot bring my brother. And if the person leaves you to go just like that, of course, you will expose the person. So the next thing is that the person will make you to be mad. That is why you see young youths, they are mad around the streets in our country today. So I'm trying to tell us to embrace education. Let's remove that mindset that education is, or school is a scam. It's not a scam. Now, some people also believe, because in our education system, let me talk about our country, Nigeria, some of the things in our curriculum needs to be revised, because there is no way somebody is teaching you a curriculum of 18th century. It cannot work in 21st century. We are now in a digital world. So if our curriculum, because one of our lecturer, one professor, she was telling us that when she was taking this particular course during his during her undergraduate studies in the university. Now she's a professor. The same course she did that time is what we are receiving now. It's because the curriculum has not been reviewed. So those contemporary issues that are happening presently need to be brought up into the curriculum, because these are the things that are happening in the 21st century. But you find out that what we are being taught in the school are 19th century something, and it's making some people think that school is a scam. So the only problem I see is the system. If the government should revisit the system, go to the curriculum, try to put those contemporary issues in our country today, I don't think school is a scam. No matter how expert you will be, there are some certain things you cannot access without going to school. There are so many offices they cannot allow you to go inside. Or there are some work or job you cannot apply for it because you don't have the certificate. No matter how good you are in particular in a non-school activity. So there are some jobs that you cannot apply for. So that is why it is good. Let's change that mindset that school is a scam. School is not a scam. The only problem we have is our education system, which I said if the government should visit the curriculum we are using, I think we are good to go. So I have some points that shows us that school is not really a scam. One of the points is that it creates employment opportunities. It creates employment opportunities. Employment opportunity is not when you wait for somebody to employ you. You can be self-employed. And when you are self-employed, if you go to our university, now that we have a course we call entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is nothing other than trying to tell you the value you can add to what you are doing so that it will excel in the market. It's not every businessman is an entrepreneur. Yesterday, we had a lady teaching the young girls how to make smoothie. And she was telling them that she has gone as far as having a label in her own rubber that she uses to sell the smoothie. That is an innovation. You see some people selling smoothie around the street, but there's no label. But when you see the one that is labeled, you'll be like, this one is authentic. If that girl if that lady is just sitting in her house, I don't think that innovation will come in. It's because she passed through the school and she knows what it entails to be an entrepreneurial individual. She's adding value to the product she's producing. So that is one thing that education helps you. It creates employment opportunity. If there is no employment, you create it by yourself. There are other things you can engage yourself and you'll be productive. You'll be making your money. So next point I have here to show you that school is not a scam is that school help you to develop critical problem-solving skills. Critical problem-solving skills. A time will come as a young girl or as a young youth, you will be alone. You start thinking about your family. You start thinking how to pay bills. You start thinking about so many things. But I'm telling you that somebody that is educative, somebody that went to school, will be in a better position to think ways he or she can cater for his family than somebody who did not even go to school. So school helps you to develop that critical problem-solving skills. in any situation you find yourself, you can be able to think what you can do to come out from that particular situation. What are the solutions to remedy those situations? But if you are not educated, I think you'll be thinking about is it to do ritual to come out from this or something like that. But if you are educated, you see that so many ideas will be coming inside. You start seeing ideas, those solutions that if you take it, it will remedy those situations. So it is all in our mindsets. Next point that I have here is that when you go to school, you will acquire the requisite knowledge that will help you differentiate between right and wrong. If you go to school, it will help you to acquire the requisite knowledge that will help you to differentiate between right and what? Wrong. There is no way somebody will tell you, bring your mom, I will help you, you'll make money. Who does that? This is somebody that carried you for 9 months. Believe me, if you're educated, you will tell yourself, oh, if I bring my mom and do the ritual, who will now eat the money? Who will eat the money? Because she's the woman that carried you for 9 months. Some women breastfeed their children up to 1 year, 6 months. And somebody will tell you, bring your mom for ritual. And you just say, yes, okay. You will kill your mom for money ritual, for Yahoo business. It's nonsense. It's not good. So if you go to school, you'll be able to differentiate between the right thing and the wrong thing. But once you are just in the streets, they will inculcate those bad influence into your mind. And when they ask you to bring this one, you said yes. You just bring it. It is not good. So it is one thing that will let you know that school is not a scam. So because it helps you to get those requisite knowledge to differentiate between the right and the wrong. So I will stop here, but before I stop, I will tell you that I believe firmly that school has never been a scam. It is not a scam now, and it will never be a scam even in the future yet to unfold. So the only thing required is to get the system right. Once this is done, we will all be reaping the fruits of being educated. So my people that are listening to me, plan to go to school. Never think of dropping out of school because school really pays. Thanks and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Okay. So it's now question and answer time. We have 3 presenters. Give me something to drink. By my chair. We have 3 presenters. Henry wants to start rushing back to Imo, right? And Vera wants to start rushing. Actually, it's 3 a.m. for her now. She's talking to you at 3 a.m. And by 7 o'clock, she's supposed to go to work. That will tell you guys. So, if you have questions for Vera or for Henry, you can ask. When we finish with their question, we go to Kevin's question because Kevin is here on the ground. Is that okay, guys? If you have a question, you come up here, sit on this table, talk. Who has a question? Who has a question? Nobody. Oh, okay. We don't have a question. We understood everything. So, as the discussant, so we have 3 people. The first person told us about the 3 types of mindset. So when you're going home with that idea. Either it's a fixed mindset, or poverty mindset or growth mindset. Then we have the second person, Vera. She told us about our attitude to school and what is happening these days. There was something she said, and I was looking to see if we got it. She said, with the media, we're only concerned about things going viral. Do you know what she means by that? That somebody might be lying down there dying. We don't have empathy anymore. We don't have sympathy anymore. We are busy taking pictures and sending on Facebook while that person is dying. That's the attitude now. That's what she's trying to say. That we have lost human touch. We have lost human sympathy. Or you are given a work to do, you don't do it. And you forgot that if you don't do yours, another person doesn't do his or her own, then there won't be any work done. Things will not move. Then Kevin told us about curriculum. We are still in the Jurassic age in the curriculum. I remember one of the jokes we used to tell when we were in secondary school. They would say, oh, this boy was asked, how did the Second World War end? And the person will say, I don't know. And the father was going to beat the boy. The boy said, but they asked me what happened before I was born. so it looks like we are trying to use old edition to teach the new age. And to me, I believe that the start of everything is making every child computer literate. So that even if you don't teach them, they can find it themselves. You guide what they get from the internet. You guide them. The children have curious minds. That's the mindset we are talking about. They are very curious. But if they don't have what it takes to develop that mind, they're stunted. So we need to put in their path what they need to develop their minds. And that's part of what we're talking about today. This small girl you're looking at today might end up being the Surgeon General of Nigeria tomorrow. But it starts somewhere. When you have a child in your classroom, see that child as a potential president, potential governor, potential anything. On one occasion, I went to have a surgery in America. So, first of all, when I was there, you're on anesthesia. So, even though it's the type that you can be awake, what happened? One boy came out. I heard that voice when you were going in. Professor Kichuku, do you remember me? You taught me. Okay, tell me, if I did not take care of that child when the child was a student, wouldn't I be afraid? That they will kill me on the table. Yes, so when you don't take care of children when they are in your care, like what Vera said, if, for instance, you paid for the child to pass exam and make A's, but the child cannot write his or her name, when that child becomes a doctor, who is the child going to operate on? You or me? The child is going to operate on somebody. And what will happen? Of course, the child, okay, if the person is a nurse, the person can give you overdose because the person hasn't read it, couldn't read it, right? So let's remember that whatever we do now with the children is going to come back at us. It will kick back because those are the ones that will do what? Take care of us when we are sick, when we have a lawsuit. I used to tell children, Jesus, please learn very well, because I don't want to be buried with my head inside the ground and my leg up. Because you might really teaching them, you haven't even taught them how to bury people. So they will dig the ground straight, sort of horizontal, and then put the human being with the head inside. But it's up to us to teach them. And it's, like I said again, that any child you have in your class is a potential governor. It's a potential president. Somebody taught Obama. Somebody taught Kennedy. Somebody taught Buhari. They were in somebody's classroom. When they were in your classroom, you didn't know they will end up being presidents. So let's see every child as the future president. I think right now we are going to call our children. Please, the people online, thank you so much for logging in. And we are really, really happy. We appreciate the fact that you are in US, 6 hours difference, and you are here with us. San Diego, I think it's 9 hours difference, I'm not sure. And you just went that extra mile. What is the time there, Vera? Vera, what's your time there?
This is 5:09.
5:09. So
5:09.
Okay.
9 minutes after 5.
Okay, it is 2:09 for us here, so you can imagine the extent to which they went. But people in Nigeria, you told to come by 12, they came by 1 and 2 o'clock. They didn't even wake up. So, and then you will sit down and say, oh, people in America have it all. You see me waking up here every 4 a.m. That means in America, I was waking up 4 a.m. How many of you wake up 4 a.m. to work until 8 p.m.? Nobody. Okay, and then tomorrow you will say, oh, they're good, they're making it. No. When you tell a Nigerian, come very early, 10 o'clock is not early. It has to be 11, 12. That's Nigerian 10, come early. But people wake up in America, all your children that are there, 6 o'clock, they had already done one thing or the other. If that person didn't wake up by 6 o'clock, it means that the person didn't get back home before 12 midnight. True or false? So please, it is all in the mindset. Thank you so much. Now the children are going to do something for us. Principal, do you want to take over and talk to us on Zoom and get your children to perform? I know that Ozalezi Mokis are already going out to get ready to perform themselves. IT guy, are you not the one doing the performance with them? Helping them with your... Okay, so you want me to call